Punk is impossible to define. You can't, for everybody it's completely different, and this is one of these things that anybody who sits on television and says punk was this, you're guaranteed there's going to be a million people out there going, no it wasn't.
Fuck off!
We want to play music but we couldn't play any instruments, but Punk said just do it, and that was a brilliant thing. We thought, yeah, why not? Why not just get on stage and play? To me, it's the attitude. I think the punk attitude is important. You take a punk attitude to everything you do. The word punk is actually an old word. It's an old Dutch word for rotten wood. And in the old days in England, there was a word called ponk as well, that smells. And then it became like the person in prison who took it up the ass. You still see punks dotted around everywhere you look, you know. You might not see them all walking up down the street now, but you see one or two. Weirdly, punk's quite a subtle influence on fashion. Punk wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't be here, you know. So punk's kind of permeated in society at lots of different levels, but not always that visible. It's not like everyone's got a Mohican, but 1976, 1977, most people didn't have a Mohican. Most people wear a jacket like this, drainpipe trousers, maybe a pair of shoes like this, you know. But it's the attitude of punk was the most important thing, and that's gone to fashion everywhere. I think without the Sex Pistols, you wouldn't have the punk scene. Without the Sex Pistols, there would have been nothing. The Sex Pistols are quite an interesting band because musically brilliant bands, but also there's a fashion thing as well. Well, Vivienne Westwood and the Sex Pistols is an interesting relationship. I mean, Vivienne Westwood was the partner of Malcolm McLaren, partner in crime, I guess you could say in a lot of ways. They had the sex shop. The Sex Pistols were formed in the sex shop. Then Malcolm McLaren, who worked in the shop and was Vivienne Westwood's partner, became the manager of the Sex Pistols, so it's tied in. And the idea was to get the band to almost be an advert for the shop by wearing the clothes. But I think without the sex shop, you wouldn't have punk. And without the Sex Pistols, you would definitely not have punk at all. It's one of those perfect moments in pop when fashion, style, politics and music all combine in one really potent package.
Right now I'm making a pair of shoulder pads with these clear spikes on it, especially for Lloyd to wear out this evening. Lady Lloyd is a pretty special character in London. Vivienne Westwood's muse. The style of my clothing and my label I would describe as punk meets a socialite. A punk piece essentially is testing something that shouldn't be, and that's what the punk period were. They were anti-fashion. This piece, I guess you could say, is just not what you expect from people to wear. If someone wore it, people would be like, okay, what on earth are you wearing? Where did you get it from? Because it's not, you know, something you can just pick up on the high street. My latest collection that I'm working on is called Collection Riot, and it's inspired by the London riots. This instance in society really shook me up, just to see like the kids of London going around and terrorising and vandalising our street. I've fused this idea with spikes. I've developed a spike that is clear, that looks like glass. So I put pieces of shattered glass all over my clothing. It's really, you know, handcrafted, and every detail's been pinned down to every single millimetre. I think I like it in the white, and I'm hoping that Lloyd likes them tonight. Right now I'm heading to meet with Lady Lloyd to style her up and add a bit of a punk edge to her outfit this evening before, you know, she hits the London scene. Hey, City!
Darling, you made it? Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, I've worked with Vivienne Westwood as her muse for a good few seasons. I did her catwalk show when she returned to London. I opened the show and I've done her advertising campaigns, and you know, she was like the originator of punk, you know, it belongs to Vivienne. So everything that comes down, it's so British, that's why I like it. And Nikita as well, you know, she's just sort of bringing it up to date, because Vivienne kind of doesn't do that stuff anymore. She does more classic stuff. So it's nice that someone's still having a punky vibe, because that's what I like. They are so me. I love it.
I know where you live, Lloyd.
Punk scene in London still exists, it's still there. It influences so many strands of popular culture in so many different ways. It's not necessarily just about someone having a Mohican. Yeah, cool, yeah.